Okay, let me know when we're ready.
Is Amos on?
Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to General Finance for December 2nd, 2024. Identification of media. I don't see any. Number 3, any changes or deletions to the agenda? If not, can I have a mover? Moved by Audrey. Seconder. Second by Helen. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. We have no delegations. Adoption of the general finance minutes for November 18th. I think so. Yep, go ahead, Audrey. Can you use your mic?
Yeah, on the minutes it reads that Greg Fraser is the representative for Six Nations Polytechnic. I chose to leave the board, and Amos has volunteered to be on the board. So if we could make that a correction, that would be good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Becky, can we make those corrections? With that correction, can I have a mover to accept the November 18th minutes? Moved by Melba, second by Carrie. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 6. Recommendation from Built Environment and Climate Adaptation Committee. Can anybody speak to this one? Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, everyone. So this is the minor cap allocation for fiscal year 25-26. We end up getting an allocation from Indigenous Services Canada, and then we meet with all of the departments that require access to minor cap and come to agreement as to how that will be allocated out. So this year, the allocation is $1,271,949.49. Sorry, $49 even. The allocation is going out as follows, or recommended to go out as follows. Sorry. Public Works $600,000. The Fire Department $379,707. Parks and Recreation $68,680.10. Education $96,367, and an administration fee of $127,194.90 for the total allocation of $1,271,949.
So if the changes for the education regarding the 996,367, if we can put Public Works get 60% of that, and the federal schools get 40% of that, if that can be put in there.
Yeah.
So therefore, be resolved that the Built Environment and Climate Adaptation and Lands and Membership Committee recommends to Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council to approve to allocate the $1,271,949 of the 2025-26 First Nations Infrastructure Investment Plan core base funding. Is there a mover? Moved by Audrey, second by Helen. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Waive second reading. Moved by Audrey, second by Helen. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number 7. Is Comprehensive Funding Agreement, Amendment number 144. Go ahead, Jennifer.
So whereas Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council has entered into a 5-year comprehensive funding agreement with Indigenous Services Canada, and whereas comprehensive funding agreement number 144 has been received for approval and signatures, therefore be it resolved that Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council approve and sign the following comprehensive funding agreement amendment number 144 for fiscal year 2024-25 between His Majesty the King in Right of Canada as represented by the Minister of Indigenous Services and the Six Nations of the Grand River. Amendments includes additional funding for the following departments, programs, or projects. So this is for Jordan's Principal back to school supports in the amount of $812,378.
There's a motion. Yep, moved by Helen with a question. Just I need a seconder, then Helen. Okay.
So this $812,000, do we administer that, or do they have to apply to Georgia's principal to get it? Because if they do, school will be over by the time they get the money.
This was applied for, and it was already administered out. This is receiving the payment back for that.
Hazel?
Can you clarify what it means, school supports? What specific is in that amount of money? What are they purchasing?
So when I stopped at the ILA and I went up the stairs and I seen Jordan's principal there, and it was for clothing and it was for food. There was two different kinds. Yeah. So by the time I went up there, they've helped over 800 and something people, kids. Yeah. So again, it was moved by Helen, second by Hazel. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Waive second reading. Moved by Helen, second by Hazel. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried.
Keith?
Yes, Elena?
I had a question for the first motion. The allocation, the minor cap allocation, and I was just looking up prices and I see that there was part of that was Parks and Rec, and they're trying to purchase we're going to purchase storage, and it was a like a sea container. I'm just wondering if this is some sort of like special sea container, if it's done up in any way, shape, or form, because the price just didn't make sense to me for what they're going for right now. I don't I don't know if anybody is there that was at that meeting that could speak to it. Like, to me, it's like double what it should cost.
Thank you, Counselor. I do not have the specifics of what that container is, but I can come back with more information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that ends our open. Is there a mover to adjourn? Then moved by Hazel, seconder. Second by Carrie. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Again, sorry for the delay. We were having technical difficulties. But again, thank you for joining us today and have a great day.